guys, it is so great to be back and filming, yet at the same time I'm a little bit nervous about this. Maybe I'm rusty, maybe I haven't done this in a while, but we've all been talking about creativity for the past 2 weeks. And creativity is something that I've been having some problems with. Not just starting back up on doing videos again, not even kind of back when we all started to fade away. I kind of itch to create things sometimes, but I tend to get overwhelmed with all the things that I have the opportunity to create. Well, I envy people who say, this is my creative outlet, and this is the only thing I want to pursue and work on. I sit there and go, I have 60 million things I want to make right now. Let me show you some examples, because there's a lot of them. We have, of course, that major event of my year this year, the wedding. I have about 30 of these photos that were taken, thank you to Lauren Lemke, back in November. Our engagement photos, we had a lot of fun hanging out at a bookstore, getting coffee, and oh my gosh, I need to do something with these photos. I've mentioned before on the channel, I love role-playing, and I finally have gotten to try out the new edition of D&D. I've had a couple false starts on some campaigns, but I've started a Dungeons & Dragons League at work. There's about 50 people who every week are getting together and playing this game, and it is so much fun, but I'm running a game, and that involves preparation and making sure I'm ready to go every Thursday right after work. Then there's writing. I used to love to write, creatively particularly. I'm hoping to get back to that. I have like a bunch of ideas that just need to get out, and I've tried NaNoWriMo a couple times, but I'm not entirely sure that's the way I'm going to get anything out of my head. And then there's this stuff. Yep, drawing, art, ways of creation. Some days I'm better at it than others. Well, I'd like to at least get better. I took Italian for about 3 years in college, and my skills have gotten a little bit rusty, and I kind of like to get those back into shape. It's kind of weird. I've always wanted to learn another language, and I came really close to being at least able to carry on a conversation, but then I came back to the US, and trying to keep up on a language where it's not always the easiest to find other people who know it too, not always the best for your skills. And then there's the half-finished knitting projects, kind of related to my love of Dungeons & Dragons. I've been trying to knit some dice bags, and I have a whole bunch. There was at one point a plan to make all my friends one. If only I could get the first one done. And then there's music. I've played violin for years, and I played it all the way up through college, but once I graduated, I kind of put it down and haven't picked it back up. It's traveled from apartment to apartment with me, my good old violin, and I've been meaning to pull it back out, brush up my skills, and maybe put something together for a video for this channel, but it just hasn't happened yet, and I'm hitting the point where I'm a little scared to find out what happens when I open up the case again. But I do want to go back to it, because I've got plenty of music just waiting for me to try. And then there's the stack of books, and this isn't even all of it, but I've got a whole bunch of things I want to get around to reading, including an Elizabeth Gilbert book about creativity. I think I have a problem, guys. I suffer from creative paralysis. So there have been some projects in process, and some things have kind of taken priority over other things. Starting the Dungeons & Dragons League at work was a lot of effort up front, but now that people are kind of getting into the groove of things, I'm able to sit down and focus on what my group wants to do, which is kind of nice that I only have to work with 5 people instead of the 50 that signed up, which was more than I could have ever expected. I thought, hey, if 15 people show up, that's great. And then I got a lot more than that. But that was an awesome experience. I've got some leadership skills under my belt and a little bit overwhelming, but I'm really excited about it. And I was able to stand there in the cafeteria and go, I did this. I started this, and I launched it, and I put it together. The whole wedding thing has been boosting my creativity in some ways as I'm trying to figure out how to work this whole thing of like books and fictional places into a wedding, and it's resulted in some awesome things, like some very cool books that all of my bridesmaids will be carrying down the aisles, and brainstorming ideas on different things to do and ways to make this work. And it's overwhelming sometimes to be like, I have to make 600 decisions and I have to pick something, and some things I care about and some things I don't, and I have to choose something though. But there's so many things to work on and so many projects to do that just sitting down and saying like, all right, if nothing else, today do this. Some days, today draw something. Today just practice your Italian a little bit. Today I'll make a video. I think that seems doable.